Hello, it's Emma here, and I'm a personal trainer, health coach, yoga teacher, and Reiki master. And I really am on a mission to make exercise more feminine and more spiritual and more accessible to people who kind of hate exercise, really. And really, one of the most important things to make exercise more accessible to more people is to make it more holistic and to not just think about how exercise does stuff for our body, but also how exercise helps us with our mental health and our mindset and our levels of positivity and all those beautiful things. And also that sometimes exercise doesn't have to be physical. And I'm a yoga teacher, and one of the most important aspects of yoga is actually meditation. And you could do a meditation practice and still say you're doing yoga, because it's all the same. It's all one and the same of the same thing. And so I've often said in the past, if I had to choose for my clients and they had 10 minutes in the day, whether they should exercise or meditate, in most cases, I would recommend meditation, at least when someone's getting back into self-care practices, getting back into exercise, because there are so many benefits of meditation that will help you overcome sort of some of the roadblocks that you might have to exercising. So in this video, I wanted to talk about 3 reasons why meditation is so good for you, 3 reasons or 3 fallacies about meditation, 3 things that people don't often get right about meditation, and then 3 ways that you can meditate to help you get started. All right, let's get started with the 3 ways that meditation can help you. So really, the ones I'm going to talk about today have a lot to do with mental health. And I think with everything that's going on in the world and has been going on in the world for the last couple of years, a lot of people are struggling with their mental health. And so I think that sometimes we overlook how important it is to look after our mental health. And so that's why I think meditation is such an amazing practice to try and add into a regular routine. So the first thing about meditation is it helps you to reduce stress levels. And so there are some sort of dopamine and hormonal responses in the body, but it's also about how it helps you be mindful in the present moment. And so when we feel stress, if we're able to switch out of worrying about the stress and then get back into the present moment, that helps us obviously reduce stress. And that leads me to the second point about meditation, is it's really a great way to control anxiety. So, most of us are stressed a lot of the time, but not all of us feel anxiety, although I'd sort of question whether most of us do from time to time with everything that's been going on. But with the anxiety, that can hold people back. That can make people feel like they're not able to do something, they worry too much, or maybe it makes them do things they wouldn't normally do. So it might make them lash out emotionally and those kind of things as well. So anxiety can really impact people's ability to get on with their lives. And so I guess anxiety is when stress has been taken up to an extra level and become even bigger. And so one of the great things about meditation and anxiety is meditation is a mindfulness practice, and anxiety tends to be worrying about something. So worrying about what might happen or worrying about what has happened. And generally, most of the time, 99% of the time, in the present moment, there's actually nothing wrong. And so when we can practice mindfulness, practice meditation, and come back to the present moment on a regular basis, that helps to reduce anxiety. And an example for that for me is that I have got a lot on my plate. I work, I manage a health food shop. I run this business. I help and care for a friend of mine who has cancer. And so life can feel really overwhelming. And when I get too stressed and jump into the anxiety side, I'm constantly thinking about how I should fix things, or how I should do things differently, or how I should have remembered to do something, or, all those kind of worries. Since I've been re-engaged with my meditation practice, which I've done really well so far this year, and it's early days, but I've meditated almost every day this year, I've noticed that when something stressful happens, that I used to then delve into that anxiety reaction. I used to like ruminate and worry and worry and worry. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it as much. And so I can see the benefits already of doing a daily meditation practice. Now, the third way that meditation can really help us is with sleep. So as I was just mentioning, when you get into that anxiety level and you're ruminating and worrying and thinking and thinking and thinking, it can mean that we can't sleep properly. And then that brings us back to the beginning of the stress levels when we're really tired and we haven't had enough sleep and our bodies aren't functioning properly and we crave all the carbs. Then we start to feel stressed because it's, I got up too late, or I haven't gotten everything done because I slept through my alarm. And so you can see how all of these things are packaged together. When we can work on our stress levels, we can manage our anxiety a little bit better, we can sleep better, then all of those things start to improve as well. And meditation is definitely something that can help with all of those things. Now I'd like to talk through 3 fallacies about meditation. And I think these things are sometimes things that stop people from trying meditation and really stops them from getting the benefits of meditation that I just mentioned earlier. So the big one that I hear all the time, and I hear it after my yoga classes when I've done a meditation, or I hear it from my clients, is that I can't stop my mind from thinking. So that means I'm not meditating properly. So a lot of people believe that you have to have an empty mind for you to be truly meditating. And that's just actually not true. And in fact, having thoughts is part of the meditation practice. So as I mentioned before, meditation is a mindfulness practice. So every time you think a thought and you notice that you're thinking a thought, you're in the present moment. So you're actually being mindful. So although, ideally you're not constantly ruminating and thinking and being anxious while you're meditating, and maybe you are when you first start meditating, but over time that starts to dissipate. But every time you catch yourself thinking, you've brought yourself back to the present moment. So instead of beating yourself up for thinking during meditation, if you've noticed that you are, that means you're doing it right. So that's the first fallacy. The second fallacy is that you need to do, 20 minutes at a time, or half an hour, or an hour, or 2 hours at a time. There's some great meditations out there that go for an hour or so, and wouldn't it be lovely if we all had that amount of time available to us, or if we're able to kind of sit still and not feel anxious for that long period of time. And so I just want to let you know that you can meditate for 5 minutes a day, you can meditate for 10 minutes a day. And in fact, in my Magic Mornings program that I run, I just recommend 5 minutes of meditation a day. I also recommend 5 minutes of movement, so like yoga or something in the mornings, 5 minutes of self-development, whether that's journaling or playing with oracle cards, or doing a little bit of craft, and then a couple of minutes of planning for the day. But you can really get benefits out of those 5 minutes a day. You don't have to be doing it for hours and hours. And maybe sometimes you'll want to do a longer meditation. But if the idea of doing a long meditation puts you off meditation altogether, please throw that one out the window. That's a fallacy. And realize that you can do, just a few minutes at a time, and you'll still get benefits from that. And then the third fallacy is that you have to sit still and meditate. Now, for a lot of people, sitting down, especially cross-legged on the floor, is very painful. And I don't know if you know this, but the yoga poses were actually designed to help monks sit cross-legged for longer in meditations. That's why yoga was invented. It wasn't so that we can look amazing on Instagram on a hillside, on a cliff top. But yes, some people find it really hard to sit still in terms of their physical body, but then other people find it really hard to sit still because they're fidgety, or they've got a million things to do, or that, they just want to keep going on with life. So if that's you, that's fantastic. There's different ways you can meditate. You can meditate while you're doing the dishes, like just become very mindful in your practice. You could meditate while you're eating. You could do definitely a walking meditation. Yoga's a moving meditation. So there's plenty of ways that you can move your body at the same time as meditating. And if that's holding you back, sitting still is holding you back, throw that one out the window as well, because you are definitely able to meditate in multiple different ways. So that leads me to my third set of 3 things about meditation, and this is 3 ways that you can get started with a meditation practice. So the first one is to use an app. So the app that I've committed to using this year is Calm. Another great app is Insight Timer. I actually have some of my meditations on Insight Timer. And you can also get, look on your app store, there's heaps of different apps, but apps can be a really great way because the timing's done for you. You've got experts teaching you how to meditate. So using an app, especially when you're getting started, can be a fantastic way to get a meditation practice happening. As I mentioned before, another way that you can meditate is in a moving meditation, and sometimes yoga can be a great way to get that mindfulness practice, because honestly, when you're in the middle of sun salutation, you're not thinking about what's on the shopping list, you're thinking about what's the next move. So a moving meditation like yoga or a walking meditation or something like that can be a really great way to just get started in a daily practice of mindfulness. And then the third way I love to recommend to people, especially if they're kind of finding it hard to be quiet, because a lot of people, are used to talking all the time and used to being around people all the time and used to noise. So if you're finding it hard to be quiet, then you could try a mantra or an affirmation. So actually speaking out loud and repeating an affirmation or repeating words as part of your meditation. So one that I really love, and this is by Gay Hendricks from his book, The Big Leap. I really love his mantra, which is, I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire others to do the same. I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire others to do the same. So you can choose your own mantra, whatever you like. I mean, you can use Sanskrit words like Om, or you could also do, English words, whatever appeals to you. But that can be another great way to meditate, especially if you're finding the quietness really difficult. Now, if you want someone to help you with your daily meditation practice, I would highly recommend joining the Magic Mornings program that I mentioned earlier. It's really an easy way to get into a daily ritual. It takes 17 minutes a day, 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of self-development, and 2 minutes of planning. You can find 17 minutes a day, especially in the morning, is a great time to do it. And in the program, you get access to a Facebook group with me. You also get access to 5 different 17-minute routines on video that you can follow along with me. So it gives you 5 different types of meditation ideas, 5 different movement ideas, 5 different self-development ideas, so that you can get your daily ritual happening. And I really believe truly that the benefits of meditation come from a daily practice. And that's, again, what I'm noticing this year. I've had periods of my life before where I've meditated every single day, and it makes a huge difference. The last couple of years, life got crazy and it's fallen off the bandwagon, but I'm back and it's making a huge difference. And I would love you to come and join me in my Magic Mornings program, and there'll be a link to that program with this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.